Take one prairie town. Take out all the women and leave the men to manage without them.
No!
How will they cope? You'll find out on The Week the Women Went. The men and women of Hardisty, Alberta, are embarking on the adventure of a lifetime. Nearly all the women in town are leaving their men behind to perform the never-ending tasks of housekeeping and parenting.
Ooh, that's a stinker. Hey, what's this getting in trouble at school?
The stakes for both sexes are deeply personal and go right to the core of their identities.
I work harder than him. I know it.
Actually, if we had you in your place, you'd be in the kitchen. I'm just kidding. Funny guy.
I do the laundry, I do the kids, I do the whatever. Actually, what is his role? He golfs.
Like 70% of their Canadian counterparts, most of Hardisty's mothers work full-time.
I work at the bulk station in town.
I work at the hospital there.
And I'm the glorified secretary.
While still managing to be their children's primary caregiver.
I know there's a few moms that haven't been more than 20 feet from their children ever.
A little nervous to leave my kids.
My biggest concern is the children getting fed supper, the homework getting done.
You better be in bed on time, better feed the kids.
The working men of Hardisty know that much of the country will be watching to see how they fare without their women.
Get off the table before you break it, Satan.
Satan.
In Hardisty, the classic male image of rugged individualism still runs strong. If the men are nervous, they're not showing it.
Hey,
We'll make it all right, but it shouldn't be a problem.
It's only a week.
we're getting rid of Mom.
For one unforgettable week, Hardisty will be the site of a large-scale social experiment. The objective? To see how the men manage life's daily challenges without the women to help them.
There's 2 people to look after. 2 people. They're under 5. How hard is it?
Many of Hardisty's bravest families participated, letting us into their hearts and homes. In an experiment that changed their lives and their town forever. In the process, they created an intimate portrait, revealing both their own small town's culture.
I definitely think that there is a class system in Hardisty.
There's the wealthy people in town, and you can tell who that is.
And the universal tensions of family life.
He has a tough time with the father role.
My prediction is Mom will be gone. They won't even notice her for the first 2 days. 3rd or 4th day might be hell.
I didn't think I was gonna miss him this much.
Tomorrow, the women will leave at dawn, an exciting prospect for many women. But packing brings up other emotions, too.
I don't know, almost guilt, I guess. This feeling in this pit of my stomach that I'm going without them. As a mom, I can't describe it. But they're okay, they're okay. It's okay.
For Noreen Metz, it'll be the first time she's ever been away from her family. Noreen and her husband, Kevin, have 3 boys, aged 6 to 12. Kevin is an electrician. Noreen teaches play school and works with families in crisis. The mothering instinct runs strong in her.
I'm the mom, and moms have their place, and it's at home with the kids.
Me and the boys come first, before anything else in Noreen's life. I think that's the way she works.
But that devotion is also why Noreen can't bear the thought of leaving.
So I want to make it as easy as I possibly can on Kevin. Well, I made sure, there's food in the house. I made sure there's meals in the freezer and stuff. I'm not good at letting go.
Seeing Dad do everything instead of Mom. That'd be awesome.
Thanks, dude.
So this is kind of a new thing for me to do, you know. I don't do this very often. Got it covered.
She only wants the best for her boys while she's away. But her biggest fear about the coming week is that her husband and sons might not need her as much as she needs them.
The hardest thing as a mom to do is to let your children go a bit, just a bit at a time, which is so important for them. I mean, they need that. They need that independence, and And as a mom, it's hard to find where you fit.
Queen of a 20-minute meal.
For Noreen's best friend, Penny Wurz, the break can't come soon enough. Penny and her husband, Ed, have 3 boys as well, but that's where the similarities end. Life at the Wurz home is a lot more regimented.
Lots of chores. He'll make us clean the house, wash windows, take out the garbage, do the dishes,
vacuum, clean our rooms.
And Ed is an old-school disciplinarian.
When I say something, it's like, okay, let's get it done. I like to mention it about 2 or 3 times, and if nothing gets done by then it's too late.
Ed gets a little angry sometimes.
Well, no, I don't get violent. That's why I only want to say it 3 times.
Too angry over little things.
I don't want to have to say it 4 times.
But I'm sure they'd survive. He loves his kids, so. And I know the house would be clean when I come home. That wouldn't be a problem.
Ed's a neat freak who thinks there's nothing more to keeping house than keeping countertops clean.
I don't like crumbs on the table. I can't stand it.
But Penny knows better.
Soccer and swimming lessons and school on time and pack lunches and...
That might be a 5-minute job, too, something like that. Sure. 10 minutes.
I would worry that they wouldn't have any fun. Fun.
Over the next week, Penny hopes Ed develops a deeper relationship with his kids and a deeper appreciation for what she does.
I think it would be a learning experience. He'd see that I'm busier than he thinks I am.
But Ed's not too worried about being penniless.
No, we know how to cook and clean and wash and all that stuff. Holy crap, that's pretty easy.
How the guys will survive while the women are away is the topic in Hardesty. Penny, Noreen, and several friends are gathering at Kelly Weatherly's house to make some predictions.
They all have this in their head. We can do this. We are men. Yeah, go hard, guys. I know it'll be a mess. That's it. That's all I know.
Kelly has 2 boys from previous relationships, 12-year-old Hunter and Donovan, who's 8. She's trusting her fiancé, Tyler, to take care of them while she's away.
We'll be here, just everything will be going cool, just like usual.
For her, it's a big step in their relationship, but Tyler doesn't really see the big deal.
They think this is going to be a big, the men are going to suck. They're going to be in trouble.
No, it'll be a disaster, complete disaster. He says they'll all live, and other than that, he can't guarantee.
I think they're going to find it overwhelming. I really do.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Like manpower, you know?
Still, Kelly wants more from this week than an overwhelmed partner.
What do I want for Tyler? I want Tyler to have an advanced appreciation of our lives, our relationship.
Some of the guys joke about how they'll really cope.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we're shacking up.
If you're gonna come out on TV, Sam.
Hey, you gotta get it from somewhere.
But the week without women gets off to a stinker of a start.
Truck's up.
Oh, I need to change him. Ooh, I got it. Oh, I gotta change him. Okay. Okay. So you guys come over whenever you're done.
Hardesty, Alberta is going under the microscope. A unique social experiment is taking place here. The women are leaving town for a week,
I can't believe it's already tomorrow. It seems like it's flown by.
challenging the men to juggle work, chores, and childcare all on their own.
And I've never had just alone time with all of them at once.
Tomorrow, the women will travel to a posh retreat in the Rocky Mountains, and the men will discover what it's like to be full-time moms.
I'm gonna be lost, I think. Well, every way. I don't do nothing around the house. She does it all, so.
For both sides, it will be a life-changing adventure.
I think this is the coolest experiment ever. I couldn't think of a better one that everyone will learn something from.
The town of Hardesty lies in the Battle River Valley, 200 kilometers southeast of Edmonton. It was founded in the early 1900s to house thousands of laborers who were building the railway through the Alberta prairie. Soon after the railroad was completed, the town went from boom to bust, at one point nearly disappearing altogether. But now, thanks to big oil, boom times are back. 60% of the town works in the oil industry. This 5 million barrel tank farm on the outskirts of Hardisty is the starting point for transport trucks on long-distance routes across Canada and the U.S. The oil boom means a lot of folks are flush with cash, but you wouldn't know it by the looks of Main Street. This week, the men of Hardesty will attempt to change that.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Doug Griffiths, and I'm the MLA for Battle River Wainwright constituency. Welcome to Hardesty.
At 34, Doug Griffiths is the youngest legislator in Alberta. He and his wife Sue recently had their first child. Hardesty is their home. But for Doug, the sorry state of the town center is unacceptable.
If your community has broken sidewalks and poor streets and dusty windows, and if businesses aren't attractive, people aren't going to see it as a healthy, vibrant community.
This social experiment is raising the stakes for the men, giving them the added responsibility of having to complete several community projects while their women are away. The men have been holding their planning meetings in secret, without any women in attendance.
Okay, good evening, men.
Their goal is to have all the projects completed as a surprise for the women on their return.
We've got 3 pocket parks to do. These are the holes on Main Street in between the buildings. Plant the whiskey barrels that have been all over the town, and down Main Street they're going to put a boulevard. We've got the playground at the lake. We got the gazebo by the post office.
Doug and the rest of the men will be sprucing up the town core, while somehow keeping an eye on their kids at the same time.
I would help on any project whenever and wherever that I possibly could.
This kind of multitasking is second nature to most women, and you never really know when those skills will come in handy.
I think he made a stinky there. Anywhere you can help is great because there's only so many guys, only so many people.
Oh, I need to change it.
Ooh, I got it. Oh, I got to change him. Okay. Okay, so you guys come over whenever you're done.
The dads of Hardesty will soon be experiencing life as many single mothers do, frantically balancing their jobs and their kids without a break.
Yeah, don't watch your plate right there.
Day in and day out.
We'll play later, okay? Are you hungry?
Like the rest of Canada, Hardesty has its share of single moms, and Mairead Morrison is one of them. She's leaving her 3 kids with ex-husband James.
We're not unique. There's people all over the world that, this divorce rate is way up there.
James's new girlfriend, Sherry, knows the kids will be in good hands.
He's perfect. Like, he definitely deserves Father of the Year.
Mairead agrees, in fact. She thinks James does such a good job with the kids.
Am I going out with Daddy?
Pretty soon.
The childcare is the least of her concerns this week.
My worry is he's gonna come across very wonderful, which he is, but I'm not horrible either. James is on quite a high pedestal in this town, and I'm kind of at the bottom. The way James and I got divorced, now there was 13 years, but there's an incident that comes back on me. I did something horrible, I did this, so I am this horrible. It wipes out everything. Yes, I had an affair. And that somehow impacted everyone in the community.
Gossip about her affair spread like wildfire, scorching Mairead's reputation and leaving her ostracized. Mairead will be taking a vacation with the very women who have been giving her the cold shoulder. Winning back their esteem won't be easy.
I cheated on Hardesty. I cheated on my husband. I'm not justifying it, but I'm done apologizing for it.
Are you gonna go with Daddy?
The only person that I hurt in this community was James, and James and I have mended that, so get over it.
Try telling that to Julie Pastor. She's James Morrison's older sister, and she's never forgiven Mairead for fooling around on her little brother.
I knew that Mairead was cheating on James, and that made it just, that's it, I'm sorry.
She's never accepted me since day one, so.
No respect for that.
Since me and James, like, since I was 17, so.
I couldn't be her friend. And all through the split up, the way that James was treated.
Julie has 3 children from her current marriage to Jordan Pastor.
I'm Julie.
I'm Jordan. And this is our family.
Yeah.
But like Mairead, Julie's story connects to others in ways that demonstrate why small-town living ain't so simple. Julie used to be married to Sam Hollinetti, charitably known as the town party animal. Sam's drinking played a major role in their breakup, but he doesn't see it that way.
I don't know, I just like to have a good time. I don't go out to hurt anybody, and I don't put anybody down, and I do my own thing. If everybody else would mind their own business, everybody would get along way better.
I ended the relationship. I didn't really want to have a father figure that was out a lot and drinking and partying, and that was almost more important than what seemed more important than the family and the home life. That's not what I was wanting. No.
I don't think I was mature enough to settle down. I'm pretty sure I wasn't, because I'm still not, but...
Sam and Julie have a son, Keaton, who lives with Julie's family.
Go ahead, Julie, say that.
Bye, honey.
Julie wants Sam to take custody of Keaton during her week away.
There was some times where, lots of times he wouldn't have Keaton on the weekends, and I just thought, is he ever gonna see him? This is not what I wanted.
The next 7 days will be the longest period of time he's ever had to take sole responsibility for his son.
See ya.
In Julie's eyes, this week is Sam's chance to redeem himself and finally begin setting a good example for his son. But as usual, Sam's not taking things very seriously.
Boy, you women in TV land, look at me.
Sam's a two-legged, one-man comedy show.
I'm the man you want.
I don't think I've seen him get caught once with his pants down at work anyway.
Give me a call. CBC will give you my number. Hasta la vista.
To make things easier on himself, Sam's moving in with a friend, Brent McFadden, a married father of 2 young girls.
I am a little concerned as to what party might go on with Brent and Sam rooming together.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we're shacking up. Our true colors are coming out.
The women left, so the guys moved in together.
Yeah. Now you gotta get it from somewhere.
If you're gonna come out on TV, Sam.
Sam can make a joke out of any situation, but Julie thinks his humor is a cover-up.
I believe that Sam probably does regret and still probably holds a candle to me. Yeah, I do.
Are you a good golfer?
Yeah. Sometimes. Sometimes I really suck.
It's your mother you take after when you suck at golf.
It's all fun and games for now. But this week, Sam will have to prove to Julie and himself that he's got what it takes to be a good dad to Keaton. They may be leaving town tomorrow, but they're not leaving things to chance today.
No sleepovers. Fix the door handle. The lawnmower is broke. Carson has soccer. Remember that water leak?
Okay. But some men have their own plans in place.
There's 2 people to look after. 2 people. They're under 5.
I think she was just getting her panties in a knot.
The men of Hardesty, Alberta are about to lose their women.
Reality's starting to sink in for both the women and the guys.
Tomorrow, nearly the entire female population will take a week-long break at a resort in the Rocky Mountains, while their men stay behind to run the households without them.
Now have dishes to do and house to keep clean and kids to take to activities. And
My dad doesn't cook too well. Seeing Dad do everything instead of Mom. That'd be awesome.
With more than 700 people in the town, it's impossible for all the women to leave. Most of the nurses in Hardesty are women, and it's proving difficult to find male replacements.
But we're an essential service. Women are essential to a community.
Without them, the hospital would have to shut down.
All of us could go. We would love all to go, but it's like, who would take care of the patients?
Yeah, who
down
would
there?
keep us going?
For other women, the decision to leave home is a lot easier than the ability to actually go.
My name is Heather Miller. I'm married to Dustin Miller. We have 2 sons. Aiden is 4 years old, and Liam is 2, and they're not lazy children. That's for sure. They go, go, go.
Heather was dreaming about this trip for weeks. But just today, she found out her husband, Dustin, may have to take a job down south.
Probably the whole summer up here. Are you a contract operator?
Yeah.
I might not be going anymore. Dustin might have a job in Red Deer, and it could be for the whole summer.
Dustin is a pipeline worker, on call 24/7.
He's been pipelining since he was probably 17 or 18 years old. He always works away from home.
Okay, when you probably need me tomorrow then, eh?
We need someone in a couple hours.
Yeah. Who wants me there today? So I might have to leave right now.
So he might be off today, the day before the trip.
In the last 6 months, he's only been home 6 days.
They don't get to hang out just with Daddy. I don't even know if he's had them a whole day. I'm always home with them. And if I go somewhere, I take them.
In addition to taking care of her boys full-time, Heather runs a home business.
I'm an esthetician. I've been doing that for about 5 or 6 years. I do nails and waxing and manicures and pedicures and gel toenails and gel fingernails. I have 75 clients, and I have the kids full-time when I'm doing the nails. Most of my clients are really good. Nobody really cares if I have to run and do anything with the kids.
She desperately needs a break.
No, I said.
But Dustin doesn't really see why.
I wouldn't do it, bud.
There's 2 people to look after. 2 people. They're under 5. How hard
And a
is
house.
They didn't tell you? Women are only supposed to speak when spoken to?
Oh.
That's on camera.
That's it.
Verbal abuse.
Verbal abuse? It's just putting you in your place. I ain't getting laid tonight.
There's a slim chance that Heather may be able to find a childcare solution.
What about your dad? I called him in BC, and he's got a road trip right across Western Canada, so this week is out.
But it's not looking good.
And there's nobody I could call for this week. This is our life. When you gotta work, you gotta work. Can't live off love.
While Heather's man prepares to leave town, another's is about to arrive. Hospital Administrator Deb DeGraw is a single mom with a 13-year-old daughter.
My name is Dion, and this is my mom, Deb. Hi.
Deb hasn't had a vacation in years.
Being a single parent, I can only afford so much, and something like this would be out of my reach. Vacations they're luxuries, they're not necessities.
She's asked her ex-husband, Wes, to come down from his job in the oil fields and look after Dion. Wes's challenge this week will be to come to terms with the fact his 13-year-old daughter is growing up faster than he'd like.
There are times when I say to Dion, you know what, you need to talk to your dad about certain things, like, especially now with boys.
Unfortunately, Wes isn't the talkative type.
A day with my dad is him sleeping and me going out with my friends.
Wes feels Dion is doing fine and doesn't see any problems with his parenting style.
She's been a good kid, not just because she's mine, but she's been a good kid right from small, yeah.
Deb believes Dion is having more trouble with the divorce than Wes realizes.
It's all right. Good. Sometimes it's still hard. It hits home when you talk about it this in depth.
As Dion begins to confront the difficult emotions brought on by her parents' divorce, it's looking like Wes's week will be a lot longer than he's anticipated. For other men, the road home is a little easier. Brad McKenzie is a long-distance trucker, and he's got 400 horses pulling him back to Hardesty. His fiancée, Pam Krause, has 3 kids from a previous marriage. This will be the first time Brad's ever had to take care of them all on his own. And Pam hasn't left anything off the list.
Number 1 will always pick up mail, sweep the floor, no sleepovers, fix the door handle. The lawnmower is broke. Just remind them to brush their teeth. Carson has soccer. Remember that water leak?
Okay.
I think Brad's gonna really appreciate and to know what I actually do, to know what the kids are like day to day for 7 days.
It'll be easy. I can't see any big troubles.
But Brad's mom, Shirley, doesn't think he's used to hauling such a heavy load.
Bradley loves kids, but he's, I don't know, this is something new for him.
41-year-old Brad still lives with his mom.
At home here, he doesn't do anything. The dishes sit in the sink, you know, he puts water in there and just lets them soak for a week. That's his idea of doing dishes.
Lucky for Brad, his mom's not going on the women's trip.
I said, no, I'd stay home and babysit, so.
But it's not just to help him out.
Of course, I'm going to this bingo in Lougheed on Friday. Didn't want to miss that.
The women of Hardesty may not be entirely confident in their men, but at least they can count on supportive send-offs when they leave town tomorrow. Not so for Teresa Ottenbright, a mother of 3. Jeremy, her husband of 6 years, left town 3 days ago on a fishing trip and won't be back in time to say goodbye.
We had a big argument because I was feeling... I think it was just the icing on the cake with a whole bunch of little things. When I just was feeling that when I was asking him to do stuff for me, it was like just left to the side, yet he could go fishing. So I was hurt about that.
But Jeremy thinks women often ignore men's needs.
Most relationships are in negative scraps because the guy wants to go golfing every night or the guy wants to go fishing.
He's like, this is a fishing trip of a lifetime. I'm like, what are you talking about? You went last year with your brothers and your uncles, and you're going to go next year. The fish aren't going anywhere. They're still going to be in the lake.
I'd like to spend more time with the guys too, and you know, it's just part of life, right?
This experience is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and you miss a couple days.
I didn't really think of it that way. That's just how I am.
I knew it would be hard for the kids because their dad's gone, I'm gone. So I was kind of torn on that, on leaving the kids. It's hard. We have nobody here. We don't have a grandma across the street or an aunt that you can take your kids to for an hour or half an hour.
Jeremy's decision to put fishing before family is only the latest chapter in a marriage in crisis. A marriage that will be severely tested during the coming week.
We didn't really have a chance to work things out when he left, totally. I was upset that morning, and then he left and he's gone fishing, and so it was kind of unsettled.
I think she was just getting her panties in a knot.
With the women away, Hardesty's teens make their own plans, party plans.
I don't even know what time it is right now, so.
And that's exactly what some moms are afraid of.
The deal was to phone me at midnight, not a quarter after 1. The deal was you're supposed to be home between 2 and 2:30, not a quarter to 5 or 4:30.
Hardisty, Alberta is about to become the site of an experiment in family dynamics. Tomorrow, it's the women who are finally getting out of Dodge.
I am so excited. I'm having trouble sleeping.
So honestly, yeah, this is like my first hands-free vacation in like forever.
Leaving the men to wipe the countertops and the runny noses, all on their own. Most of the women have never been away from their families before.
I know there's a few moms that haven't been more than 20 feet from their children ever.
And most of the men have never had to run the households all by themselves. As for how well they'll do on their own, everybody has a theory.
It'll be easy. I can't see any big trouble.
He has no clue what it's like to have him 24/7.
It's us that gets the job done.
There's gonna be a lot of like barbecuing because the men can't cook.
Without their women to keep tabs on them, it's a good bet the men will be keeping tabs at the bar. For the bar owner, Max Sabetti, it could mean more trouble than he can handle. An Iranian refugee, Max fled to Canada when he was just 17. 3 years ago, he bought Hardesty's favorite watering hole. He's been working 20-hour days ever since.
I love what I do. Otherwise, you couldn't have a person work 20 hours a day.
But to keep up this workaholic pace, Max relies heavily on common-law partner Tamara. When she's not working alongside him in the restaurant, she's taking care of their 3 kids at home. Max almost never sees them.
Sometimes I don't get to see him from Friday till Monday afternoon. I really do miss him. I'm hoping that I spend some time with my children every day of the week rather than not seeing him 2-3 days at a time.
But without Tamara to cover for him, Max is in for a reality check this week.
It's a lot more complicated than just me leaving and going on a vacation.
In addition to losing Tamara, the rest of his female staff are leaving as well, including bartender Kathy Belanger. 43-year-old Kathy is a single mother of 4.
21 years of kids, bratty kids, may I add.
To make ends meet, she works a second job as a cook at the hospital.
Slaves don't work as much as she does, pretty much.
Until now, she's never been able to afford a week off.
She always has to work all the time and support all of us, and she's always worked really hard, so I'm happy she's gone.
The life of a single mother is never easy, but Kathy's has been particularly tough.
Yeah, my ex-husband was a drug addict, and I'd spent some time in jail, and I just had enough. Anne-Marie was 5 months, and I left.
She's excited to be going on a vacation.
Cheers, Sue.
But she doubts she'll be accepted by a lot of the women.
We've never lived in the big fancy house. We've kind of always lived on the other side of the tracks and never drove the fancy cars. And I just think here that's a real status thing.
2 of her adult kids have moved out, but 16-year-old Anne-Marie and 17-year-old Justin are going to be home alone. She wants to trust them, but she's wary. Justin is turning 18 the week Kathy's away, and there's no father figure at home to make sure things don't get out of hand.
They're gonna party all week. My house is gonna be destroyed.
Oh, we'll clean it up. We'll clean it up.
Oh, come on.
Kathy knows that the Hardesty teens love any chance to get together. There are several big parties planned for the week the women are away, and that's making a lot of parents in town nervous, especially Kevin Clarkson. He and his wife Heather have 2 teenage boys, but Kevin has spent most of their married life working away from home as a driller in the oil patch.
I missed pretty much the first, I guess it'd be 12 years of Curtis's life, 11 years of Cody's life. Heather raised the kids by herself.
This week will be the first time he's ever had to look after his boys on his own.
Mom hasn't gone away for this long ever, actually, not that I remember, in a really long time.
A welder by trade, Heather Clarkson now works as a sales rep for an industrial supply company.
Last time I've been on vacation, probably 8 years ago, maybe even longer than that. I think my kids were just young, like 6 and 7. So, yeah, 8 years ago, 9 years ago.
For me and Curtis and Dad, it's gonna be kind of hard without Mom here, because she does a lot of stuff for us.
She works hard at home and at work, and that's just her. She's the foundation of this whole family.
Well, the whole town is run by women, so for all the women to leave, I think it's going to be a little bit hectic. And some of those dads that are very dependent on their wives are going to have a problem. I get to go away on a week trip to Canmore because, I'll tell you why, I live with these 3 doughheads. It's my reward.
Heather and Kevin already have their hands full keeping their teenagers in line. Having Heather away for a week will definitely test Kevin's parenting skills.
Cody.
Yes, sir.
How's your school marks this year, buddy?
Terrible.
Excellent. Then Playboy over here figures he's going partying tonight. Where are you going tonight?
The bridge party.
Where's the bridge?
North of Killam.
About 500 feet away from this table. You're not going anywhere.
As we'll soon see,
he's out of here.
Discipline is not Kevin's forte. Tonight, Curtis and many of Hardesty's teens are heading to a field north of town.
Usually parties are 300 people.
something like this, yeah, 150 to 300 people. Get pretty intense.
These summer parties don't just draw kids from Hardisty, but from surrounding towns as well.
Everyone's in good spirits. Everyone knows each other. Growing up in small towns, you get to know everybody. Like, everybody knows everybody. You don't feel like an outsider anywhere.
While everyone's having a good time, Curtis Clarkson forgets something important.
I don't even know what time it is right now, so.
His curfew.
But we're going home with Anne-Marie. She's sober, so. I'm gonna make it home so I can see my mom leave in the morning at 5:30, so.
He'll make it if he doesn't get distracted.
Oh, Curtis, we're changing.
In a few hours, the women of Hardesty will be leaving town for an entire week. But the Clarkson home isn't a happy place right now. Curtis broke his curfew last night. It's not the kind of going away present his mom was expecting.
I told him to phone me if he needed a ride. He never did, but. So we're not very happy at 5:30 this morning.
The deal was to phone me at midnight, not a quarter after 1. The deal was you're supposed to be home between 2 and 2:30, not a quarter to 5 or 4:30. I know.
Dad's half-hearted discipline isn't sitting well with Mom. More teen parties are planned for the week.
See you guys later.
Bye.
And Heather and a lot of the other mothers in town are worried about the trouble their kids could get into. It's countdown time for the convoy out of town.
I just want to go away. I've never been on a holiday. Never.
And while some goodbyes get teary, other ones get folks talking.
Jeremy, I know you're out fishing, so I thought I'd come by and say goodbye to your wife for you.
Today, the town of Hardisty, Alberta, will lose what some would call its better half, much of its female population.
Woo! Week without the rotten kids and the annoying husband.
Leaving the men to manage the daily grind of chores and childcare,
I think this will be a big dose of reality.
all on their own. But not every woman is leaving. Some have to stay behind to staff essential services. Some have pressing obligations.
So I'm going to this bingo in Lougheed on Friday. Didn't want to miss that.
And some are just plain unlucky. Yesterday, Heather Miller's husband, Dustin, got a call to work on a job out of town.
Who wants me there today? So I might have to leave right now.
She thought she'd be one of the few women left behind, but today, Heather's luck has changed.
He was going to be able to go to Red Deer and get an awesome job for the summer. And so I wasn't going, and then he got a phone call that the job had been filled, so now Saturday morning, it's a go. Bring in a smaller amount of clothes and more stuff that I know that I'm gonna use. Hold your head up, hold your arm up. There you go. Whoa, whoa.
Teresa Ottenbright can't wait to get out of town, but her husband, Jeremy, still hasn't returned home from a fishing trip with his buddies. That means reluctantly putting 13-year-old daughter Devron in charge.
It would have been easier, I think, if Jeremy was here. But just have to be strong.
It's all pointing to a lengthy stay in the doghouse for Jeremy when, or if, Teresa comes back. Some men are in a different kind of trouble. With his entire female staff going on the trip, workaholic Max Sabetti is going to have to stay in business and babysit his 3 children.
You go to daddy too.
His partner Tamara usually picks up all the slack, both at the restaurant and at home.
Need a camera. Where is it? I think it's in my purse.
But Max is losing her too.
Off on the great escape. Running away.
As the buses roll into town to take the women away, families are saying their farewells.
Be good, okay? Get along with your dad.
You know what? It's only a week, honey. You're gonna have so much fun. You get to be the bosses.
Of what?
Everything. There's no women here.
I
am looking forward to the week away, and I'm not. It's gonna be hard to leave Austin and Doug for that whole week, because I've never done that before.
It'll be all those little things, the laundry and the dishes, and remembering just the simple stuff to sweep the floor, and that'll be the interesting part.
It's exciting, but at the same time you are kind of going, you know, what could happen?
There's always that mother part of you that's saying, oh my God, can he do it?
Come and say bye to me. You pretty?
I mean, they're fine. Kevin is really great, and they're fine. I just feel lonely already.
Barbecue 2 nights in a row, nothing but guys. Hey, wake me up, pinch me, I'm dreaming.
Bye. Be good for Dad, Kate.
I think it'll be a lot quieter. It'll be a lot nicer to have them gone for a week.
I love you.
Sorry.
We're getting rid of Mom.
I think this is such a great opportunity for us to be able to go on holidays all together. How can this not be fun?
Like it's gonna be a blast. I just want to go away. I just want to go away. No kids, no phone, no.
I've never been on a holiday. Never.
I think that everybody will understand each other better. I don't know.
I'd like to accomplish this week that we all realize that we're lucky that we live in this small community, that we all know each other, we can be there for each other and not be so judgmental.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
You be a good girl for Dad? Okay. Yeah, don't go on your open. I love you very much. I love you too.
I'm just making sure you girls all get on the bus. You've done something with your hair.
Oh, thank you. You noticed.
Jeremy, I know you're out fishing, so I thought I'd come by and say goodbye to your wife for you.
You will find exits at the front of the bus and to the side. 2 at the back and 1 in the toilet. I have a few rules on this bus. The first one being anyone that has alcohol in their possession must share it with the They stay.
Coming soon on The Week the Women Went.
I'm proposing to Leah on Saturday and marrying her Sunday.
What?
You gotta be kidding me.
Did you eat all your fruit?
He just isn't around enough to try to be a good dad.
I'm not going to bed.
I can get a little frustrating at times. You'll go to bed when I tell you to go to bed, whether you like it or not. It's all right.
I'm gonna leave for a week. Kids' heads getting screwed up.
I've never asked Tyler to be a father figure. If he volunteered that, wonderful, because that shows a bonding.
No.
Now we don't have to mess around, just throw them on the trap, they're clean.
You gotta improvise when the women are gone, right?
She does a lot of work.
Outside.
I miss her a lot.